In the heart of a bustling city, the cold wind didn't care about anyone's status, but it felt much sharper for Arthur and his young son, Leo. They stood on a gray street corner, sidelined by a streak of bad luck, and waiting for a miracle that felt like it was never coming. As the crowds rushed by, two brothers, Julian and Mark, approached. Julian was carrying a heavy, high-quality coat. He stopped in front of the pair and handed it to Arthur. "Here, take this," he said. "It looks like you could use it." But just as Arthur reached out to thank him, Julian paused. A thought struck him, not of kindness, but of vanity. He pulled out his phone and handed it to his brother. "Mark, get a photo of me giving this to them. I need to post this on my socials so people can see how much I'm doing for the community." Mark snapped the picture, boasting about how many likes it would get once it hit the internet. Satisfied with their good deed and the content they'd captured, the brothers walked away, leaving the father and son standing in the cold. Leo looked at the coat and then at his father, his voice trembling with more than just the cold. "Dad, we shouldn't have taken it. They didn't see us as people. They just used our struggle to make themselves look like heroes." Arthur, pulling his son close. "Son, in this world, sometimes the poor don't have the luxury of a choice. People treat kindness like a trend these days, and we just have to endure it." A few moments later, as Leo adjusted the heavy garment, he felt something solid in the deep lining of the pocket. He pulled out a small, velvet-lined box. When he clicked it open, his eyes widened. Inside were shimmering diamond rings and a luxury watch. "Dad, look! It's a fortune!" Leo, his face lighting up. "This could change everything. We could get a place to stay. We could eat. We wouldn't have to ask for help ever again." But Arthur's expression didn't change. He looked at the jewels and then at his son with a quiet, firm dignity. "It's worth a lot, Leo, but it isn't ours. We might be struggling, but we haven't lost our integrity. We know the difference between what is earned and what is stolen." Tucked inside the box, they found a business card with an address. Arthur didn't hesitate. They began the long walk to return it. Meanwhile, across town, Julian and Mark were in a state of total panic. They had realized that the family heirlooms they were supposed to be moving had been left in the pocket of that coat. They sat in their living room, heads in their hands, realizing they had just given away a small fortune to a stranger on the street. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. When Julian opened it, his heart nearly stopped. Standing there were the same two people he had mocked for a few digital likes earlier that afternoon. Without a word of anger, Arthur handed over the box. "You left this in the coat," he said. "We wanted to make sure it got back to its rightful owner." The silence in the room was heavy. Julian looked at the jewels, then at the man he had looked down upon. He realized that while he had the money, it was Arthur who possessed the true wealth of character. Humbled and deeply ashamed, Julian reached out, not with a camera this time, but with genuine respect. He offered his contact information and a promise to help Arthur find a stable job and a way off the streets. The lesson is simple. Never use someone else's hardship as a stage for your own vanity. True kindness doesn't need a camera or a caption. When you help someone, protect their dignity as much as you protect their well-being.